4, 3, 2, 1.
Get a recap of this year's Spring Fling Carnival.
Learn about a fee that might benefit campus media.
And review the biggest stories from the spring semester. All this and more tonight.
This is Wildcast.
Good evening and welcome to the late edition of Wildcast. I'm Carol Ann Scott.
And I'm Janice Yu. Thanks for joining us tonight.
The Spring Fling Carnival has called Rio Park its home for the past 13 years. Before that, it took place on the University of Arizona campus. Next year is the 40th anniversary, and Wildcast reporter Ted Skroback tells us there is a lot of momentum to bring the event back to the U of A grounds.
This is the 39th annual Spring Fling, and ASUA is in hopes that for the 40th anniversary, possibly will be moved to the U of A Mall.
Really hoping to bring it back for the 40th. That would be really great for us.
I'll put a number to it rather than just a regular one. It'll always remember the 40th.
I like the convenience of it here, but I like the atmosphere of the U of A much better.
The push for University of Arizona's student-run carnival to return onto campus soil has been a goal for student government presidents since 2010.
To move Spring Fling back to the U of A Mall, and pretty much every president since then, that's been a really big part of their platform, is to bring it back.
ASUA surveyed Spring Fling visitors, finding that people wanting the event to stay at Rio Downs are part of the surrounding community that find the location more convenient. One longtime Tucsonan told me she's unsure if the Rio location is more convenient.
I don't know, because I don't know if it's really a central location. U of A is probably more of a central location, and you'd probably get more community to come to it.
The student government understands the community concerns, but still believes Tucson will support large events on the UA Mall.
Like we can see with the Tucson Festival of Books and things like that, the community is more than willing to come to the UA Mall.
And non-resident tuition about $800. The increase was deemed necessary due to the heavy budget cuts across the state. Students who attended the tuition hearing before the meeting were reasonably upset by the prospect of a continually growing debt. However, student body representatives agreed that a moderate tuition increase hike was needed to cope with the reduced state funding.
March 5th and 6th were the days to vote on the Arizona student media fee, which was approved by the U of A student body. The fee, which is yet to be approved by the Board of Regents, would use a very small portion of students' tuition to provide funds for UATV, Camp Student Radio, and the Daily Wildcat. Jackie Kent has the story for Wildcast.
A student featured in the Daily Wildcat school newspaper, which includes a description of why he is so involved in student media. But 4 sentences don't do justice to the bigger picture.
Save student media.
Sweet.
Thank you. Save student media.
Student media edges closer to the deadline to implement a new fee to raise funds for UATV3, Camp Student Radio, and the Daily Wildcat.
You're listening to Camp Student Radio, 1570 AM. You're listening to Jake Dimitri. Take it away.
Camp Student Radio implemented a similar $1 refundable fee 15 years ago. It is the primary source of camp's funding and will expire this year.
The Arizona Daily Wildcat and UATV also want in on to help with funding, since we're all kind of in a bad place right now. So we decided to up it to $3 so we can each put it in a pot, and hopefully we can each just pull from it, when we need it.
The best way that we can describe UATV's current funding situation is it doesn't really exist. With the money we have, we put together 2 very good shows. However, I would love for there to be more. And if we don't get the money, we'll probably just stay the same.
Arizona Student Media collected more than 3,500 undergraduate signatures to get this fee on the election ballot. Now they're spreading the word to secure what they need to be a majority vote during the general election.
I'm overall proud of everything that I've been able to do here, and I really hope that other people get the same experience that I do.
I have a lot of friends who are in it, and the experiences that they gain and the fields that they're trying to go into, there's nothing better than the practical experience it offers.
It's easy for us as people in college media to think that it's just going to support us, but I think supporting college media is really about supporting the U of A and supporting an open forum of discussion on campus.
These I Am Student Media bios allow the student body to see who they are supporting by voting yes on March 5th and 6th. From the Arizona campus for Wildcast, I'm Jackie Kent.
party that resulted in a man firing a handgun in the air was aided by a YouTube video of the incident. Wildcast reporter Kimberly Kane has the story.
On January 26th, there was a party that may have been one of the biggest parties that the Stone Avenue Standard Apartments has ever seen.
But it was so packed you couldn't even walk.
There was a lot of people, and the helicopters came and everything, and I saw people running from the gunshots. I didn't expect for the party to get that big.
Big may even be an understatement. Approximately 1,000 people were here, which seems to be over the capacity of this pool area.
If you go to a large party like this with 1,000 people, you can't know everybody's going to be there.
At approximately 2:30 in the morning, there was a complaint of a large party at the Standard Apartments, so a nearby officer was flagged down and notified of the gunshots.
This gunman's still on the loose, and we're trying to identify him. We've actually gone to the public now with that picture of the tattoo on the neck, hoping that someone will help us identify this individual.
After further investigation, the manager of the Standard Apartments was found responsible for organizing this party, and the manager's office was red tagged. So what does this mean for the apartment? It means that they must display the red tag for 180 days and pay a hefty fine. It looks like the Standard Apartments won't be hosting any parties anytime soon. In the event that this apartment hosts another party, fines could increase up to $500. Word of a second party of this kind is circulating on social media. This time the party is said to be held at a warehouse on the west side of town. No word yet if the new location will make conditions safer. From the Stone Avenue Standard, I'm Kimberly Kane, reporting for Wildcast.
Since this package aired, 20-year-old DeJuan Granville Lord turned himself into police after a picture of his neck tattoo was posted on the internet.
A few weeks ago, the nation was left shocked when 2 bombs went off at the Boston Marathon. 3 people were killed and 176 people were injured, according to CNN. 4 days later, the state of fear finally ended with the death of one suspect and the capture of the other. 19-year-old Jahar Sarnayev and his 26-year-old brother Tamerlan were found by an MIT police officer. The suspects shot the officer and fled campus. They stole a car and escaped to nearby Watertown, where a gunfight ensued, leaving Tamerlan dead and Jahar injured. Police set up a perimeter and checked house by house for hours until Jahar was found hiding under a tarp-covered boat. During the investigation, police formally charged Jahar with the use of a weapon of mass destruction and with malicious destruction of property resulting in death. Jahar said that he and his brother were attempting to defend Islam from the United States, suggesting that they were motivated by extremist Islamic beliefs. A court date has not yet been set for Jahar Sarnayev.
After the break, find out the weather for the upcoming week.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
With an undefeated 5-0 outcome for the Fall Classic Tournament.
The Occupy movement is taking hold because of its strength in numbers.
Tonight is the absolute last night to ride the trolley, as it is closing for 2 years.
I'm sitting on what used to be known as Bear Down Field, which will soon be U of A's new practice field.
I'm Evan Murray, reporting from McHale Center with Wildcast.
Welcome back. Now it's time for weather with our weather reporter, Shay Sorensen. What do you have for us this week, Shay?
Good evening, Wildcats. Today's high hit 99 degrees, which is the hottest we've seen this year, and Tuesday will also be the same temperature. On a positive note, at least we haven't hit the triple digits like our friends up north in Phoenix. Wednesday and Thursday will cool down just a little to 93 degrees, with Friday showing a high of 91. This weekend will be hot as well, with temperatures in the low 90s. A low pressure system will make its way into the southwest on Monday, dropping daytime highs to low 80s to high 70s for the beginning of next week. Temperatures are well above average for this time of year because they normally sit around the mid 80s in late April. The record for today back in 1992 was 102 degrees. The high pressure system that is occupying the southwest has dropped the dew point, which is a fancy word for the amount of moisture in the air, into the single digits overnight. This means that it is incredibly dry outside, so keep that chapstick on hand. For those of you staying in Tucson or in Arizona for that matter, you can expect monsoons to arrive in late May or early June once the dew point is 55 or higher for 3 consecutive days. That marks the beginning of the monsoon season. That's all I have for you, Wildcats, but have a lovely summer, and I'll see you next time.
The University of Arizona is attempting to increase recycling on campus by promoting it more to students. Wildcast reporter Desiree Valenzuela has the story.
The importance of recycling is not only a global topic, but also a concern at the University of Arizona. Benefits of recycling include the reduction of pollution and an increase in the cleanliness of the environment. The University of Arizona has several areas designated for recycling around campus, one of those being the Student Union. These areas are an attempt to get students to recycle items rather than simply throwing items away in the trash. The question is, do these waste baskets really help the environment by reminding students to recycle?
Yeah, I definitely think they're super beneficial. I mean, it just gives it a little bit more of an option instead of everyone just throwing one thing, wherever. I mean, I know recycling is definitely super important.
There are also events around campus that help with conserving energy, water, and waste. One event that takes place on campus is Recycle Mania. The main goal of the event is to decrease the amount of waste produced and make students aware of campus recycling. In a brief interview with Trevor Ledbetter, a resident of U of A student housing, he stated that Recycle Mania is a competition between dorms on campus and participating colleges across the country to conserve energy and water and to improve recycling. There will also be an event on March 23rd called Earth Hour. For this event, students are asked to turn off their electricity and come to the U of A Mall between 8 and 10 p.m. Earth Hour promotes the conservation of electricity. The University of Arizona also works to increase recycling by having recycle bins during large events. For instance, there were more areas for recycling in sporting events such as football and basketball games than there were before. More recently, during the Festival of Books, there were several places to recycle due to the bins provided by Waste Management. Overall, the university continues to find ways to promote the importance of recycling. Reporting from the University of Arizona from Wildcast, I am Desiree Valenzuela.
The San Diego Zoo visited the UATV studio earlier this semester to show off their Australian Outback exhibit. Here's a recap in case you missed it.
Hi there and welcome to Wildcast Late Edition. We have a really special guest today. We have Rick Schwartz, our San Diego Zoo ambassador, here with us to tell us a little bit about a new exhibit.
Yeah, we're very happy to be here. We're going all over Tucson today and tomorrow, and it's wonderful that we're able to stop by here with some of our animals. We're here to talk about our Australian Outback area, which is basically, we've had koalas and Australian animals for a long time, but not one real centralized location to really show people. If you go to Australia, this is going to be your experience. These are the great animals there. So we have Australian Outback opening the end of May. It's been under construction for a year and a half now. And it's a nearly $7 million project, about 3 acres of the zoo being completely redesigned. And we brought along some animals to help tell you the story of what's going on there. And this is a blue-tongued skink. Now, a lot of people look at this and they freak out because it's a scaled animal and it's so scary looking and it's big. These guys are really laid back and very cool, and if he opens his mouth, we'll see if he does, you'll see his tongue is very bright blue.
He's getting shy.
Now, a lot of times, bright colors in the wild, just for a second you saw it, the bright colors in the wild represent I'm poisonous or venomous. Now, there's always the exception to the rule. Cane toad was very just kind of nondescript brown color.
Right.
This animal, brightly colored tongue, not venomous or poisonous. So sometimes Mother Nature plays a couple tricks on us. We have the rather infamous kangaroos. Yes.
Our whole studio is very excited to see
Sheila
them.
right there, and she is a mother kangaroo, a red kangaroo, full-grown female. Males can get much larger than Sheila can. In fact, her male mate that helped produce Diesel here is almost 6 feet tall when they stand up completely. Now, kangaroos are well known for boxing. They don't box in the traditional sense like we cartoons tend to do so. The behavior they do, though, when males challenge each other does look a bit like boxing. They'll get up on their hind feet all the way, stand up nice and tall, use their tail as a kickstand, grab with their front feet. So they'll punch, no grab, punch and grab, and if they get in close enough, they'll actually push back onto their tail using that as a single stand and kick with the back foot. And that can be the blow that can be devastating to us humans and or to even the other kangaroo they're fighting with, and make the other one go, okay, you know what, maybe you can go ahead and have this area. I'll move on over there.
So the exhibit opens in May. Is that right?
Yes, the end of May. We'll have our grand opening, and then it'll be open from then on.
Very cool. And they can find information on the website?
SanDiegoZoo.org. Yeah, that's the best place to go is SanDiegoZoo.org. And now we just added, we have a whole new sort of leap of a new, for lack of a better term, of a website all about our Outback area. And there's a whole thing you can do online. If you want to join into our competition, you can actually win tickets to come out to the zoo for the opening, hotel stay and everything. So go to the SanDiegoZoo.org, click on the Koalifornia, as they call it, competition, and see how you can enter through Twitter or Facebook or any of the other social media ways to be able to do that.
That sounds
amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
We're
for
so
joining
glad.
us.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for
glad
having
to meet
us.
all the animals.
Glad
and
you don't
meet all
mind
of
us tearing the place up.
Yeah, you betcha. We'll be smelling good for weeks.
That's for sure. Maybe months.
Right. Well, we wish you safe travels and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you venture off the UA campus, you can find a number of hikes just miles from school. With the weather warming up, hiking is a perfect temporary weekend getaway. Wildcast reporter Megan Canterbury has the story.
The official start of spring is only days away. Wednesday, March 20th marks the beginning of the new season, and there is nothing better to do in Tucson than take a hike. There are hundreds of hiking trails in Tucson, but it's important for students to not have to drive too far for a great trail. El Camino del Cerro Trail, or Sweetwater Trail, is just a 15-minute drive from campus, and you are surrounded by beautiful wildlife and saguaros here in the middle of the Saguaro National Park. This trail is a 6.4-mile round-trip trail that is the perfect way to spend a spring day.
It's what you'd call a medium exertion, you know. There's quite a few ups and downs and quite a few steps. So we spent about 3.5 hours. And that means somewhere around 6 miles.
Sweetwater Trail is near some of Tucson's must-see locations like Gates Pass, Old Tucson, and the Desert Museum. Most of these are less than 20 minutes from the trailhead.
Being so close to the city, and yeah, I really like this area.
Well, everyone knows that spring does not come alone. Rising temperatures and pollen levels can keep you from enjoying your hike to its fullest, so please bring plenty of water and your allergy medications too. Reporting from Sweetwater Trail for Wildcast, I'm Megan Canterbury.
After the break, find out how the baseball team is preparing to defend their national championship.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UA TV. Don't change the channel.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your cat card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Welcome back. After winning the national championship last year and losing many key contributors, the Arizona baseball team has been outplaying expectations so far. Before the season, Wildcast reporter Chelsea Moe met with a couple players to find out their expectations for the current year.
U of A's first baseball game will be held on February 15th at High Corbett Field at 6 p.m., and there are a couple of surprises in the works for attending students of their first game.
Yeah, I think we have some of the older players are coming back and throwing out the first pitch, and I know it's kind of a big deal because it's the first game since we won the national championship, so yeah, it'll be pretty fun.
The Cats look at their national championship experience as a complete honor.
I don't think so. I'm sure for some people, but I just feel it's like a great honor, and then everyone kind of moves on to the next year. So.
Tickets are now on sale, and trust me, you will want to be there. The Wildcats are already ranked 14th in the NCBWA poll, and there will be free rally towels handed out to the first 1,000 fans at the game.
Starting the season with very high rankings and being last year's national champions, the U of A is very excited to start this year's baseball season.
I asked Johnny Field how it felt to win the championship.
Incredible experience, obviously. Best season of my life, best moment of my life by far. Yeah. The national championship.
The Cats feel absolutely no pressure being last year's champions, and they have set many new and high goals for this upcoming season.
No, not at all. We don't. I mean, that year's behind us now. It's no pressure to try and win another one. I mean, that's the goal every year, to go out and attack and try to win national championships. So by winning it last year, that doesn't put any extra pressure on us at all.
Reporting for Wildcast, I am Chelsea Moe.
Last week, University of Arizona junior Dean Saxton, better known as Brother Dean, created controversy by holding a sign that said, "You deserve rape." It was the same day a sexual awareness event on campus. Saxton regularly preaches on the UA campus in front of Heritage Hill, condemning passerbys to hell. Despite many complaints from people who viewed the sign, UA administration did not remove Saxton. They claimed that he was within his constitutional rights and was not targeting anybody specifically. However, a YouTube video of the preaching shows Saxton making statements directed right at people who were just walking by. It was reported in the news that Saxton allegedly spit on a Muslim woman who was walking by. The UA released a second statement saying that they were looking into all the complaints before possibly taking action.
Harry Potter's 7 books and 8 movies make the series one of the largest entertainment series in history. On the UA campus, production of a chocolate from the books has raised concerns over labor practices. Wildcast reporter Katia Hall has the story.
Not only does it make for a yummy treat, but it serves as a powerful antidote for the cold effect produced by contact with dark magic.
There are a lot of antioxidants and things like that, that apparently, yeah, there are some chemical compounds that do make people feel better when they eat chocolate.
As soon as the trolley cart rolled up with Harry Potter chocolates in the Muggle world, everyone wanted a piece of the remedy.
It's really exciting when they produce something that is like from the books and relates to the books, because it's a little piece of, getting something in reality, and there's something about like getting a chocolate frog box. You're like, this is awesome.
However, the cocoa plant is one of the most corrupt agricultural crops in the world. A group on campus known as the Harry Potter Alliance was upset to be presented with an independent report that Harry Potter chocolate received an F in human rights.
A couple years ago, Free to Work put out a report about the status of the human rights in the chocolate producers that Warner Brothers was using, and they received an F, and so we were concerned about that. So we asked them, kind of what their plan was and how they were going to fix that. And they came back and said, we did our own report, everything's fine, don't worry about it. So we were like, great, that's awesome news, can we see it? And they said no, and we thought that was kind of sketchy. So essentially what we're doing now is we're petitioning them to either show us the report proving that they are using fair trade chocolate and they're not using child slavery in their Harry Potter products.
The U.S. Department of State estimates that more than 109,000 children in Côte d'Ivoire's cocoa industry work under the worst forms of child labor, and that some 10,000s are the victims of human trafficking or enslavement. Warner Brothers responded, citing a report that it negates the F grade in the Free to Work report.
So if students want to get involved in the campaign, they can either talk to us at the University of Arizona Harry Potter Alliance. You can contact us at uahpa.org to get a hold of this petition and sign on behalf of a Harry Potter character, either your favorite or just one of the ones from the books. Or you can go to showusthereport.com to submit your petition entry online, and it will be added to everybody's from across the country.
Reporting from Hogwarts, I'm Katia Hall with Wildcast.
Well, that'll do it for us tonight on Wildcast. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, you can watch us online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATV-CH3.
If you haven't already, be sure to like UATV3 on Facebook for on-campus news updates and events.
So this is my goodbye. I am graduating this semester, so UATV has been an incredible experience for me. I've learned a lot, made a lot of new friends. Just definitely something I couldn't have gotten in a classroom. So I want to thank our GM, Jackie Kent, director Greg Fingerhut, and producer Justin Sayers, and of course my co-anchor Carol Ann for an amazing year.
It's been one heck of a semester, and it's been a pleasure working for you, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors, and we know that you will find success in this business.
Oh, thank you.
Well, have a good summer, Wildcats, and we'll return next year with a new late edition of Wildcast.